Foot cramps. The kind that seize the arch of your foot at 2 in the morning and lock it in place so hard you can't even flex your toes. And if you've been told a baked potato is too plain, too boring, too simple to matter, that is exactly where the confusion starts. Because something is happening in your foot muscles overnight. Something that has nothing to do with age, and everything to do with what you did, or didn't, eat before you went to sleep. Most seniors believe nighttime foot cramps are just part of getting older, or that dehydration is the real cause. Drink more water. Eat a banana. Wait it out. However, NIH nutrition data and USDA intake research suggest something very different. A large percentage of adults over 60 are not meeting their daily potassium or magnesium needs. Not even close. Which means the muscles in your feet are going to bed without the minerals they need to stay calm. And water alone cannot fix that. That is the gap nobody fills for you. The advice you've heard your entire life, stay hydrated, stretch, maybe pop a calcium pill, was never designed for what happens to your body after 60. The mineral math changes. The absorption changes. The overnight window changes. And the standard advice just never caught up. That is the real enemy here. Not your doctor. Not your age. The outdated, generic, one-size-fits-all guidance that treats a 65-year-old body the same as a 30-year-old body. It doesn't work. And tonight, your feet are paying the price. My name is Dr. David Collin, and I want to be clear about something before we go any further. Everything I share today is for educational purposes only. Always discuss changes with your own doctor. I say that because I mean it. What I'm about to walk you through could genuinely change how you sleep. But your doctor knows your history, your medications, your kidneys. I don't. So we work together here. After 60, everything changes, and most people aren't told why. That stops today, because by the time this conversation is over, you will know exactly which 4 foods can help calm your foot muscles before bed, why one of them outperforms the banana most seniors reach for, and what timing mistake keeps the cramps coming back even when you think you're doing everything right. If that matters to you, and I believe it does, or you wouldn't still be here, subscribe so you don't miss what comes next. I cover the parts of senior nutrition and cramp relief that most channels skip, because somebody has to. Now, let me show you what is actually happening inside your foot at 3 in the morning. Your foot has over 20 muscles. Small ones, intricate ones, muscles that control your arch, your toes, the way your foot grips the floor when you stand up. During the day, those muscles fire and release thousands of times without you even noticing. Fire, release, fire, release. That cycle depends on minerals. Specifically, potassium tells the muscle when to fire. Magnesium helps it release. Calcium plays a role in the contraction itself. And when the balance between those 3 is right, the cycle is smooth. You never feel it. But here is what happens after 60. Your body absorbs less magnesium from the same foods it used to absorb it from easily. NIH Office of Dietary Supplements data shows that a significant number of older Americans, especially those over 60, fall below the estimated average requirement for magnesium. Not dramatically low, not hospitalization level low, just low enough that the muscles don't have a full supply of the mineral that tells them to let go. Now add potassium to that picture. USDA intake data linked to the National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey, NANS, has consistently shown that most American adults, including older adults, do not meet the adequate intake level for potassium. Most, not some, most. So now you have a foot with 20 muscles. And 2 of the 3 minerals those muscles need to cycle properly are running low. Not dangerously low, just low enough. And then you go to sleep. That is the part nobody explains. During the day, you're moving, you're eating, you're sipping water. Your muscles are getting input, getting circulation, getting topped off. But at night, everything stops. No more food coming in, no more movement. Your body enters a long mineral fast. 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours with no new potassium, no new magnesium. And those small foot muscles, the ones already running on fumes, become electrically irritable. Think of it like a light switch with a loose wire. During the day, enough current flows through to keep things stable. But at night, with nothing coming in to steady the signal, that loose wire sparks. The muscle fires, and it doesn't get the magnesium message to release. So it locks. That is a cramp. That is what wakes you up. That is your foot curling into a fist at 2 in the morning while you're trying to stand up in the dark. Not random, not harmless, not just aging. It is a mineral timing problem, and it has a solution. 4 of them, actually. But before I show you each one, and I will, slowly, with the research behind every single one, I need you to understand something. These foods do not work the way most people think. It is not about eating something and hoping it helps. It is about which mineral each food carries, how well your body uses it after 60, and whether it lasts through the night. That is the difference between a food that sounds healthy on paper and a food that actually keeps your foot muscles calm until morning. So let's start, and I'm going to work from the foundation up. The first food I want you to know about is not the most powerful one on this list, but it is the one that sets the stage for everything else to work. Food number 4, plain Greek yogurt, or kefir, the drinkable version. Either one. Most seniors think of yogurt as a digestive thing. Probiotics, gut health, fine. But that is not why it is on this list. It is here because of what it delivers to your muscles. A single cup of plain Greek yogurt gives you a meaningful amount of calcium and a moderate amount of potassium. And here is why that matters for your feet at night. Calcium is the mineral that helps the muscle contract in the first place. If calcium is erratic, too much signaling, not enough regulation, the contraction becomes unstable. Greek yogurt provides a slow, food-based source of calcium that your body can absorb steadily. Not a spike, a steady supply. And it pairs that calcium with protein, which slows digestion. That means the minerals from that yogurt are still being processed while you sleep. USDA Food Data Central confirms the mineral profile, and the NIH Office of Dietary Supplements notes that calcium absorption can decline with age, which makes getting it from a well-absorbed food source, like fermented dairy, more important after 60 than most people realize. So yogurt is not the star of this list, but it is the quiet foundation, the steady calcium base that helps everything else land better. Think of it as the ground floor. Now, the next one is going to shift the story, because this is where magnesium enters. Food number 3, pumpkin seeds. A small handful, about 1 ounce, roughly a quarter cup. Most seniors don't think about pumpkin seeds at all. They're not in the usual rotation. But ounce for ounce, pumpkin seeds are one of the most magnesium-dense foods you can eat. USDA data shows that a single ounce of dried pumpkin seeds delivers roughly 150 milligrams of magnesium. That is a significant portion of what an older adult needs in a day, from a food you can eat in 60 seconds. And remember what magnesium does. It is the release signal, the off switch. When your foot muscle fires, magnesium is what tells it to relax again. Without enough magnesium, the muscle fires and holds. Fires and holds. That is the cramp. That is the lock. So pumpkin seeds deliver the mineral that directly addresses the locking mechanism, not the contraction, the failure to release. That is a different problem, and it needs a different mineral. Most seniors never connect this to that. Today you will. Now, eat them plain or lightly salted. Not candy-coated. Not buried in trail mix with sugar. Just the seeds. A small handful in the evening, maybe alongside that yogurt. You're now covering calcium and magnesium before bed. 2 of the 3 minerals your foot muscles need to cycle properly through the night. But we're still missing the biggest one, potassium. And this is where the story gets more interesting. Because the food most seniors reach for when they hear the word potassium is a banana. And a banana is not a bad food. I am not here to tell you bananas are dangerous. They're fine, but they are not what most people think they are. Not for this problem. Not after 60. Food number 2, avocado. 1 whole avocado contains roughly 690 milligrams of potassium according to USDA Food Data Central. A medium banana has about 420. That is a real difference. But the potassium content is only part of the reason avocado is number 2 on this list. Avocado also delivers magnesium, about 58 milligrams in a whole fruit. It delivers healthy fat, which slows digestion, and it delivers almost no sugar. A banana gives you potassium, but it also gives you a faster sugar curve, which means a faster insulin response, which means the minerals from that banana are processed and cleared more quickly. For a younger person, that's fine. For a 68-year-old whose muscles need mineral support that lasts through a 7-hour sleep window, faster is not better. This is the part that rarely gets explained. It is not just about how much potassium a food contains. It is about how long that potassium stays available in your system. And avocado, with its fat content and slow digestion profile, holds that mineral delivery longer. So before we go to the most important food on this list, the one I've been building toward, I want to ask you something. I want you to drop a letter in the comments right now. If you still believe night foot cramps are mostly about drinking more water or grabbing a banana after they start, drop the letter A. If you believe the smarter move is using the right mineral-rich foods before bed so the cramp is less likely to start in the first place, drop the letter B. I read every single comment personally. Let me know below. And now here is the part I've been building toward. Everything I've told you so far is real, and it matters. But there is something that changes all of it, something almost no one talks about when it comes to nighttime foot cramps. And once you understand it, you will never think about this problem the same way again. The issue is not simply that your potassium is low, or that your magnesium is low. The real problem, the one that keeps the cramps coming back, is that the minerals are not arriving in the right pattern. They are not lasting through the night. And in many cases, the food seniors choose are giving them a short burst of the right mineral at the wrong time, in the wrong combination, without enough staying power to cover the overnight fast. That is the mechanism behind the pattern. That is why you can eat well all day, drink plenty of water, and still wake up at 3 in the morning with your foot locked in a cramp. The mineral was there at dinner. It was not there at 3 a.m. The overnight window drained it, and nothing was in your system to hold the line. Which brings me to food number 1. And I saved it for last because it is the one most seniors overlook. It is too ordinary, too familiar, too plain. But the research behind it tells a story that might surprise you. Food number 1. A medium baked potato with the skin on. A medium baked potato with the skin delivers roughly 920 milligrams of potassium. USDA Food Data Central confirms this. 920. Compare that to the banana at 420. Compare it to the avocado at 690. The potato is not close. It is ahead, significantly ahead. But here is why the skin matters. The skin of the potato contains a concentrated layer of potassium and fiber. The fiber slows the digestion of the entire potato, which means the potassium releases more gradually into your system. Not a spike, a slow feed. The kind of release that can bridge more of the overnight gap. I'm telling you this because nobody else in this space will. A plain baked potato with the skin eaten in the evening, not at lunch, not at breakfast, in the evening, may provide a stronger, longer-lasting potassium delivery than the fruit most seniors default to. And when you pair that potato with the magnesium from pumpkin seeds and the steady calcium from yogurt earlier in the evening, you are building something. You are building an overnight mineral pattern. Not a single fix, a pattern. Now I need to stop here, because this is important. This is for educational purposes only. Always discuss changes with your own doctor. And I am going to say that again with more weight behind it right now, because this next part requires it. If you have kidney disease, even early-stage kidney disease, high potassium foods like potatoes and avocados may not be safe for you. Your kidneys may not clear potassium efficiently, and too much potassium in the blood is not a small problem. It is a serious one. If you take ACE inhibitors, ARBs, or potassium-sparing diuretics, medications commonly prescribed for blood pressure, those medications can raise your blood potassium levels. Adding high potassium foods on top of that without your doctor's knowledge is not a smart move. This part matters. The foods I've shared today are powerful, but powerful is not the same as universally safe. Your doctor knows your labs. Your doctor knows your kidney function. Your doctor knows your medication list. I don't. So take this information to them. Show them this list. Ask them which of these 4 foods makes sense for you specifically. That is how this works best. Now, let me bring this together for you. Because you've stayed with me this far, and I want to make sure you walk away with something you can actually use tonight. The goal here is not to chase the cramp after it starts. That is what most seniors do. The foot locks up at 2 in the morning. They stumble out of bed. They rub it. They walk on it. They drink water. By then, the cramp has already happened. The damage to your sleep is done. The risk of falling in the dark is real. The stiffness the next morning is already baked in. The smarter approach is to build the evening so the cramp is less likely to start in the first place. Here's what that looks like. First, build your evening meal or snack around one potassium-forward food. That is the baked potato with skin, or the avocado, one of them, in the evening. Not at lunch, not in the morning, in the evening, so the potassium is still in your system when you fall asleep. Second, add a magnesium-forward food earlier in the evening. Pumpkin seeds, a small handful, maybe at 5 or 6 o'clock. Give the magnesium time to be absorbed before the overnight fast begins. You're giving your muscles the release mineral before they need it. Third, consider the steady calcium base. Greek yogurt or kefir, earlier in the day or with your evening routine. This is the ground floor, the stabilizer. It won't stop a cramp on its own, but it supports the system that magnesium and potassium are trying to run. Fourth, do not assume water alone fixes a mineral timing problem. Hydration matters. Of course it does. But if your potassium and magnesium are not where they need to be, 10 glasses of water will not fill that gap. Water carries minerals. It does not replace them. One food, one timing shift. Big difference. And fifth, if you have kidney disease, fluid restrictions, or take blood pressure or water pills, take this list to your doctor before you change anything. That is not optional. That is the part that keeps this safe. This is not age. This is something your body is doing, and we can fix it. Not with a magic pill, not with a single miracle food, with a pattern. An evening mineral pattern that respects how your body works after 60. Let me tell you why this matters beyond the cramp itself. Because it is not just about the pain. It is about what the pain takes from you. Broken sleep, night after night. The fear of it happening again, which keeps you from falling back to sleep even after the cramp releases. The hesitation before you get out of bed, because your foot is still sore from last night. The stiffness the next morning that makes you slower, more cautious, less willing to walk to the mailbox or take the stairs. The quiet erosion of confidence that nobody talks about. That is what nighttime foot cramps actually cost. And the research supports this. A clinical review published by the American Academy of Family Physicians noted that nocturnal leg cramps affect up to 60% of adults at some point, with frequency and severity increasing after age 60. 60%. That is not rare. That is not just you. That is most people your age dealing with the same thing and being told the same incomplete advice. You now know more than that. You know the 4 foods. You know why each one matters. You know the mineral it carries, the role that mineral plays in your foot muscles, and why timing that food in the evening changes the overnight picture. You know why a potato with skin may outperform the banana reflex. You know why pumpkin seeds belong in your evening. You know why yogurt steadies the base. And you know why avocado holds potassium longer than faster options. That is a real framework, not a guess, not a trend. A framework built on USDA data, NIH nutrition guidance, and the physiology of how your muscles actually work after 60. Before I let you go, there is one more thing, and this might be the most important part of everything I've said today. Even the best mineral-rich food in the world can be the wrong personal choice if your body cannot safely handle it. Random internet advice fails seniors because it never asks, what medications are you on? How are your kidneys? What did your last blood panel say? The foods I shared today are backed by real data. But data is not a prescription. Your doctor turns data into a plan that is safe for you. That step is not optional. That step is the whole point. The right evening foods may help calm foot cramps because they support overnight mineral stability, not because they are magic. That is the truth of it. Simple, specific, and yours to use. But now that you know which foods may help calm foot cramps at night, there's something else happening in your body that can make even the right mineral choice less effective, and that is absorption. How your gut actually handles magnesium and potassium after 60. Why some seniors eat the right foods and still get no relief. The mineral never gets used the way they think it does. I cover exactly that in the next video. Watch it now.